Another day alive, another day of feeling blessed. Man, I feel great. I'm currently on like a 20-30 minute walk to a basketball court. Kind of get a sweat on, get in the sun. It's like 90. It's going to be like 94 by the time I get to the court. Get a good little workout in, get a little sweat in, get in the sun. Man, it's like, I don't know the science, but it's something about being black and just being in the sun. Like, it really just charges you up. Like, that's why every day in the morning when I wake up, I do my little push-ups, sit-up planks. Then I go outside in the sun, do some jump rope. And man, it's like the sun is literally giving you energy for the day and charging you up. I have a few tyrants I want to talk about today. One being, well, I'll say both of them. The first one is kind of the whole black flight to Africa and my thoughts on that and kind of how that's going to evolve and, again, my overall thoughts. And then the second is the whole, like, cenat thing where he, pretty much is in jail right now for inciting a riot. So firstly, with the African flight, or the African American flight back to Africa, I think it's interesting, and it's definitely something to think about for the fact of, if you're making $50K a year in Africa or in America, and you can go to Africa and buy, quadruple the land, like you can have a way better lifestyle. I mean, it's definitely worth thinking about. I think though, when African American people are like, oh, I'm go to Africa because they're gonna treat me the same, or I'm gonna be with my people. I don't think that's the case, because again, people think just because they're the same ethnicity or race that they're the same culturally, and there are cultural differences between people that divide them, I think, more than race. I mean, if you're culturally, like, you're from the South, you live in a country club, like, you're gonna be more in line with a white person if you're black living in that country club than you would a black person who is a black person who lives in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Which is why you get those people that are called like Oreos or yada yada yada. It's because they're more culturally in tune with white people, or not white people, but that country club mentality. So I think the same would happen if black people went to Africa. They would not be culturally in tune with the Africans. Therefore, they would be treated the same way kind of they would in America, which is kind of as an outsider or a foreigner. So I think a lot of black people don't really understand that. Also, too, just me thinking, like, I like to think about history, and all or most, African Americans were shipped over to America by Africans. So you're gonna go to the place where, your ancestors were enslaved and sent over to America, and you're gonna try to help build them up. I mean, I personally think, history repeats itself, and the likelihood of, something like that happening again is pretty high. And what I mean by that is, if something were to happen, you think because your skin is black that they won't, turn on you and, do some foul stuff to you again. Like, you're not one of them. if you're not in that cultural group, or that group that has the most power, and that power is coming from mainly numbers and control, then, you know, you're gonna be the first one to get, sent away or have something happen to you. So I think black people need to be aware of stuff like that and think like, okay, yes, I'm going to Ghana, but, will these Guyanese people treat me the way I want to be treated? And overall, if something were to go down, I mean, history will show you that, again, it's likely that you're going to be the one that is going to, bear the brunt of the ignorance or foolishness that happens. So my thing is, I'm not trying to go to a place that, enslave my people and then ship me over, and they're the exact same as me. And then with them being the same as me, they want to treat me differently because their ancestors shipped my ancestors over to a different country. So, I mean, I can kind of expand on that a little more and get deeper, but that's just kind of my base level of thinking. I know I'm ranting a little, that's the point, but... And then secondly, the whole cenat and that whole situation, I mean, it's like, I'm seeing on the internet people like, oh, a black person tries to give back and they go to jail, and this happens. Like, there could be a white KKK person and they won't go to jail, but a black person can do that and they'll be in trouble. And it's like, bruh, there's like, that's, I think, black people's biggest thing. There's no, like, you don't get props for being ignorant. Like, I could have told you the first day, I saw on a Thursday when he said, oh, I'm gonna go to New York, and he was like, how many people are gonna show up? 2,000, 500. Like, he was completely, I mean, it's like, I have zero sympathy. I mean, bro's talking about having 500 people show up in New York after school lets out / during the summer, and he has 100,000 people watching his video at that time. It's like, it's just foolishness by him, foolishness by his management, foolishness by his security. I mean, I have zero, empathy, sympathy for him going to jail, or, if he would have got hurt, I mean, that would have been 100% his fault. Because, again, you should be aware, and if you aren't aware, your management should be aware enough to know, hey, if I'm going to do a meet and greet and I'm going to have minimum 5,000 people show up, I should probably call the police and kind of let them know, or properly organize it so that people are safe and I'm safe. I mean, for him to think he can just post on his story that has multi-millions of followers to pop up to this one place and it be safe for everybody is ignorant. And I mean, again, I don't even think this is going to be a learning situation, because, we live in a just ignorant time where people don't learn from other people's mistakes and people don't really have good people around them. But it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm 24. I have way less money and motion than Kai or his managers. But I could have easily told him, like, bro, this is a terrible idea. Like, the first time I saw it, I assumed he was going to have proper security and, inform the police of what he was doing. But then I kind of thought about it, I'm like, probably not. That's going to be some ignorant shit that ends up getting, shut down. But for it to go down the way it did, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised. And like I said, I don't really have any empathy for somebody like that. I mean, you have to, if you're a multi-millionaire, buying your mom cribs, you have multiple cribs, you have managers, there's no excuse for you to be dumb, period. And that like, again, I think that is just a display of having the wrong people around you who are not using their brains and are, focused on other things, money, clout, whatever, than the safety of the people around them or their own, freedom. Because again, bro is going to get charged. I mean, I don't know, to the extent he might have to pay for like damages and all that other stuff, but it's like, come on, bro. You can't be ignorant. And that was just a complete display of ignorance. So, but I wish bro well. I mean, dude supplies people with good content. I mean, he's 21. I'll say, I just hope he can learn from the experience. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got from my rants. And I'm about 5 minutes away from the court. About to get a good little workout in. And man, it's like every day I wake up extremely invigorated, happy, ready to get something done for the day. I think that's where I definitely am getting a lot of my joy from. It's just every day getting a little better and accomplishing something, whether that be making a YouTube video, going to the basketball court, working out, just every day doing something to get better. So I'm about to head to this court. Talk again later.